My name is Juvir, and I've been day trading for over 7.5 years. And over those years, I've been able to make millions of dollars day trading. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you guys can start making a crazy amount of money using just this right here. A lot of people think that in order to start day trading, you need to have some crazy expensive PC, some crazy expensive laptop, and you need to sit there for the rest of your life, dibble-dabbling on your freaking keyboard to make a whole bunch of money. But that's not true at all. In this video, I'm going to debunk that entire myth. I'm gonna give you step-by-step processes, the exact apps and websites you need. I'm gonna tell you exactly which platforms to use. I'm gonna show you how to start reading candlesticks so you'll understand exactly what you're looking at on these platforms and apps. I'm gonna tell you the best strategy to use when you're on your phone trading that will ensure that you can make a couple $100s a day very, very simply. And then I'm also gonna show you how you can scale from there and learn how to make even more money when it comes to your trading. And we're gonna do it all from this guy right here. We don't need a crazy laptop. We don't need a super expensive PC gaming setup. Everybody here probably has a phone, so you have no excuse. Let's lock in and let's change your life. So before we hop into everything, let me just clarify things for you guys. Number one, you don't need a bunch of money to start day trading. Everybody thinks you need $100 million to start day trading. You really don't. With the exact method that I show you in this video, you can get started with $50, $100, even $20 if you wanted to. You do not need a crazy amount of money to get started. Number two, it's not as hard as you think it is. I'm not saying that it's the most easy thing in the world. I'm not saying that it is easy, period. I'm just saying it's not as hard as you think it is. It's definitely achievable. If I've been able to do it, trust me, everybody watching this video should be able to do it as well. This is a skill that you can learn to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. Number three is that this is not a get rich quick kind of thing. This is a skill that you can learn no matter if it takes you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, even a year, or even 2 years. This is a skill that you can learn that once you learn this skill, no matter how long it took you to learn this skill, you can actually start making thousands of dollars within a couple of minutes. The hard part is locking in and learning the skill. But once you learn the skill, you can make an endless amount of money from anywhere in the world using just this right here. But now that I've clarified all those things, let's hop into our phones and see exactly what it is that we need. All right, so here we are on my phone right now. You see I have two apps here. One is called TradeLocker and one is just Google Chrome. We need Google Chrome because we basically need to get a broker. A broker will then connect to TradeLocker. Now keep in mind, I know y'all watching this probably don't know what the heck a broker is. Just think of it as a bank account, kinda. It's kinda like that. It's not really a bank account, but think of it as a bank account and you connecting your bank account to this platform to trade from. Now choosing the right broker is extremely, extremely important, especially if you want this strategy to work exactly how I'm pointing it out inside of this video. So I'll leave the link for the broker that I personally recommend inside the description of this video. Sign up for that broker. This strategy will not work for any other broker because it doesn't use the same apps. You'll be lost. You'll end up getting confused. So use the link that I sent inside the description down below to sign up for this specific broker. Now, when you sign up for this broker, it'll give you login credentials for you to then log into your TradeLocker account with. So once you sign up for it, you get your email that gives you your login, your username, your password, all that. Then go to the App Store and download this app right here called TradeLocker. You see it on my screen. It's a black logo with like, what is this called? It's not parentheses, whatever the heck, two lines that look like a square with a hole in the middle of it. That is the app. Download TradeLocker, and this is where we're going to do our trading from. This is where we're able to buy and sell. This is where we're going to be able to see our charts. We're going to get into exactly how to be able to read the charts. I know a lot of you guys are probably new. If you're not new, we're going to show you exactly how to read charts and understand exactly what's going on. I'm also going to break down my favorite strategy to use from your phone. It's super simple, super easy. You'd have to really, really, really try and mess it up. As long as you follow the exact instructions I give you, this strategy can help you make money very, very fast inside these markets. Once you sign up for your broker, you have your login credentials and you downloaded TradeLocker on your phone. Keep in mind, TradeLocker is available on iPhones as well as on Androids, even though I don't know why anyone here would have an Android, but we're not going to talk about that this video. So after you now have TradeLocker on your phone, click it. It'll open up a chart that looks similar to this. You'll see a lot of similar things. It might look a little bit different. I'm going to show you exactly what all these things mean. I know it might look a little bit confusing for you right now, but I'm going to break it down for you. So in the middle here, the graph, we obviously see these candlesticks. I'm going to go into exactly what candlesticks are in 1 second, but I want to show you what all the other things on the screen mean. So everything to the left over here where you see all these different lines and stuff like that, this is all just drawing tools. This is to help you mark out specific zones. We talk about support or resistance. We talk about trend lines. We talk about all these different things. If you watch any of my YouTube videos, I've talked about all these things, and this is where you'd go and press to actually start drawing those lines on your screen if you wanted to, right? I can press the brush right here and draw squiggly lines. I can draw whatever I want, use any of the lines. That's just how you do it. Now, keep in mind, you don't really have to play too much with that, especially with the strategy that I'm going to give you. It doesn't require much drawing at all. If you look in the top left corner, you see it says NAS 100. That's the chart that we're on. So think of it as that's the currency we're trading. If you press markets right next to NAS 100, you can actually hit the search and press whatever you want to trade. So let's say you want to trade US 30. You could type in US 30. You'll see a couple options for it. I always go with either the .pro or the .mini. It really doesn't matter too much, but you can choose anything in here. You can choose any of these Forex pairs that you want to trade. But with the strategy that I'm going to show you guys later on in this video, the strategy will work with basically every single pair. I'll give you guys my top 3 ones to trade it on once we get into the strategy. But I just want to finish going through here so you guys understand exactly what's going on this app. So if we press NAS 100 again, it'll take us back to the chart. Now, right under NAS 100, you see it says 5M. That means we're on the 5-minute time frame. And basically all that means is that every candlestick we see here, remember these things that you see right here, the green and reds and all that stuff, those are all candlesticks. So if we're on the 5-minute time frame, that means each one of these candlesticks represents what price has done within a 5-minute time frame. Now we can click that, switch it to any time frame we want. We can scroll, we can go to the 1 hour time frame. Every single candlestick we see represents what's happened within 1 hour. We can go again here and press it in 1 minute, and we'd see every single candlestick here represents what happened in 1 minute, and it will continuously make new candlesticks every single minute. So you get the gist. Right there is where you're able to choose the time frame that you're on, and that represents exactly what each candlestick means, or the time length of each candlestick. Now, right next to where you see 1M, you can press the little candlestick icon, and here's where you can switch and go to a bar chart, a line chart if you wanted to. You can go scroll down to Heikin-Ashi candlestick chart, which is what I love trading, and we're going to get into that a little bit later on when it comes to the strategy, because that's what we use. Right now, we'll go back to regular candlesticks so I can help you guys understand that. But right next to the candlestick icon, you see FX. This is indicators. We're going to get into what indicator you need for this strategy a little bit later on in this video, but this is where you're able to see what indicator you want. You can type in any indicator that you want to look at. You can type in literally anything you want right on this screen right here. Now, you don't really have to worry about that little symbol next to FX. You don't really need to touch that right now, or anything else on the top of your screen. The bottom of your screen though shows you exactly where you're going to be trading at. So you'll see a big sell button. You'll also see a buy button. And basically that's where you're able to enter the trades at. Let's say you want to enter a sell. A sell means that you think price is going to go down. You'd hit sell. You think price is going to go up. You hit buy. Now in the middle, you see something called lots, right? This is how big of a position you're going into the trade. So here you can do 1 lot, you could do 0.01 lot if you wanted to, 0.05 lot. You could type anything in here, and you see on top of the lots, you see margin. Margin basically means how much money you need in your account to open up this size position. Now, if I do a 0.01 lot, you see I need $106 in my account to enter into this trade. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to lose $106. That just means in order to open up that trade, you need to have at least $106 inside of your account. Now, if you hit the little up button next to the, or on top of the buy right here, it'll bring up the order box, basically where it lets you put in things that we call stop loss and take profits. A stop loss and take profit is extremely important. Those are areas where price will automatically close out your trade for you. And that's extremely important for our risk management, because with certain strategies, with all strategies actually, when it comes to trading, we need to be able to mitigate our losses and maximize the amount of profits we make. So stop loss is always the lowest you'd want your trade to go, the least amount of money you'd want your trade to go in the negative, or sorry, the most amount of money you want your trade to go in the negative before you cut your losses, you take that L, and you just lose that money. Now, a lot of people don't like trading with stop losses, but that's absolutely horrible to do, because if you don't have a stop loss and you open up a position, you could lose all of your money. A stop loss saves you from losing all your money. It helps you calculate how much money you're risking per trade, and we'll get to that in a second. But a take profit is exactly where you want price to close your trade out in profit at. So let's say you're up $100 and your take profit is when price gets to, or when you're in profit, $105. As soon as it shows that you're in profit $105, the trade will automatically close out for you at $105 in profit. That's extremely important as well. Just like the stop loss saves you from losing too much money, the take profit allows you to be able to close out your trade at whatever profit target you have. So you'll see here that they're unchecked, and you'll see a bunch of numbers next to them. So let's say we press buy right here, and let's say we tap the stop loss and we tap the take profit. Now you'll see price is the first box that we'll see. Price basically means that's where we want to get out of our trade at. If you look up here on the chart again, where you see it says 21,225 right now, that's where price is right now. But let's say we want to actually get out of our trade at 21192. We can just drag this red box wherever we want price to close at, and you see it'll show us if price hits our stop loss right here, we'd be negative $40 or $39. It's gradually going up or down as the market is moving right now. Now, same thing when it comes to take profit. We can drag it wherever we want. And if we drag it and drop it right here, it says that our TP will then be $44.76. So when it hits that area, we'd actually be able to profit that $39 or whatever it is. But once it hits that TP level, it would then close us out at the trade at whatever that profit number is. So you can either type out the numbers, like I said on the bottom here, by typing out wherever you want it to get you out at, or as soon as you click and press the stop loss or the take profit, these lines will come on the chart and you could just drag them wherever you want them to be. You'll also see right here is a risk amount. So if you click right here in the bottom left that says risk, if you have your stop loss clicked and then right next to P and L, you type in how much you want to risk on this trade, you can actually put in, let's say $100 right here. And that means you'd risk $100, and it will tell you how many lot sizes you would trade with to risk that amount with where your stop loss is at the moment. As I drag it up or down, it stays at negative $100. That's because that's how much I want to risk. No matter where I drag this line, I'm only going to risk $100. And that's because if you look right over the buy at the bottom of the screen, every time I drag it, it's adjusting the lot size. So it's adjusting the position size for you, which is a huge reason why I love this broker and this app combination, because you don't even have to think about how much money you're losing or what position size you should be going for. As long as you hit that risk checkpoint, you can drag this no matter where you want to put it, and it will automatically calculate your position size that you should go into your trade with. Now let's bring back up this order box here. You can do the same thing when it comes to your P&L on the buy side, but keep in mind it's not going to work the exact same as it did on the sell side. The important part is with our stop loss, we want to put in the max amount that we're willing to risk on that trade. So let's say we only want to risk $200 on this trade. No matter where we drag this line, we're gonna risk the $200. I unchecked the risk button. But no matter where we drag this line, we're gonna risk our $200. And that's what we want to have so we can limit the amount of risk that we're having per trade. So now that you understand how to use this platform, how to use this app, let's go into exactly what the heck this chart means, what these candlesticks are, what they represent. And then we'll hop into my favorite strategy to use for you to start actually generating money straight from your phone. So as I mentioned, each one of these candlesticks, depending on what time frame you're on, represent what price has done throughout that time frame. So right now we're on the 1M. You see in the top left corner, it says 1M. That basically means we are on the 1 minute time frame. So every candlestick we see here represents what's happened in 1 minute. Now, what do these candlesticks exactly show and what do they tell us? So if we look on this red candlestick right here, we see we have a long stick at the bottom and small stick at the top and a small stick at the bottom. Those are called wicks. You see them on this green candlestick right here. It's a long green wick on the bottom of it. There's no real wick on the top. You see all these candlesticks have different shapes and sizes when it comes to them. They're all different. The wicks basically mean that's exactly where price has been throughout that candlestick. So price on this green candlestick could have went all the way down here during that 1 minute span or whatever time frame you're on. And then there's no wick at the top. So that means price didn't really go up much during this 1 minute time frame. But you see we have a long wick to the downside. Now you see the thick parts. The thick parts is crazy. Now you see the boxes on the wicks, right? The boxes is basically where price started at and where price ended at the start and ending of these candlesticks. Remember I told you each candlestick represents a time frame. So right now we're on the 1 minute time frame. So let's imagine this candlestick is the 10 o'clock candlestick. This green candlestick is the 10 o'clock candlestick. At the beginning of this green candlestick, or at the beginning of the 10 o'clock candlestick, price started right down here at the bottom of the body. At the end of 10 o'clock, so now it's 10:01, price ended all the way up here because that's where the body is. On a green candlestick, the bottom of the body is where price started at and the top of the body is where price ended at. It's vice versa when it comes to red candlesticks. So with a red candlestick, the top of the body is where price started at and the bottom of the body is where price ended at. That's all you have to remember. And then remembering the wicks are where price has been throughout the time of each candlestick. But the bodies is where price started at and the price where price ended at the end of those candlesticks. Okay, so now you understand exactly what the heck candlesticks mean. Now let's get into the strategy that will literally help you print money directly from your phone, no matter where you are in the world, no matter your race, no matter your gender, no matter your political belief, no matter none of that. I'm gonna teach you something that can literally change not just your life, but the financial future of your family's life as well. Let's hop into this crazy strategy. Okay, so for the first step, we have to be on the 1 minute time frame. So make sure in the top left corner it says 1M. Now keep in mind this works on any pair like I told you guys, but my top 3 favorite things to trade it on is going to be NAS 100, SPX, or XAU USD, which is basically gold. Right now I'm on an XAU USD pair just to show you because there are a couple examples here for me to show you guys so you guys can understand the strategy in depth. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is press the FX button like we talked about. That's where indicators are. Keep in mind this strategy works either using the VWAP indicator or the moving average exponential indicator. For this example, I'm going to use the moving average exponential. There are so many different videos of me using the VWAP. So I want to show you guys how to do it with the moving average. So you'll type in moving average exponential right here. You'll click it. Once you click it, it'll be on your chart. You see it's this blue line. Now in the top left corner, you see EMA. Press that and then press the 3 dots next to it. Next, press settings on the bottom and under inputs where it says length, click that 9 and switch this to 100 and then press OK. And that's all you need to do for that indicator. The indicator is set. Now keep in mind you can go back in those settings if you want to. You can change the color of your indicator if you want to. I like white, so we're just going to keep it white for right now, but you don't need to change the color. It's just personal preference. Once we have that, next step is to click the candlesticks. So we'll press the candlesticks right here, and then we're going to switch from regular candlesticks to actually Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. So you'll click the Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. It was all the way at the bottom when you click it. So click Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, and now we're on Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. Now keep in mind, these are completely different than regular candlesticks. The way they look is completely different and how they operate is completely different. I have multiple videos on my channel about this. You realistically do not need to know how these candlesticks work to make money with this strategy. I'm not going to dive too much into it, but just know the wicks work the same. The wicks is exactly where price has been, just like with regular candlesticks, but the body is completely different. The body tells you exactly the average of where price has been throughout that time frame or that candlestick. Like I said, you really don't need to know that at all to do this strategy. All you need to do is be on the 1 minute time frame, have on Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, and make sure you have that either moving average exponential indicator on or the VWAP indicator. In this instance, we're going to use the moving average exponential. Now this is how you do it. I'm going to show you a couple examples. I'm going to give you the checklist that you need. You need to follow this checklist. If you do not follow this checklist, the strategy will not work, and we want the strategy to work. So don't skip any of the steps. No matter if you see all other things line up, but one thing is missing, do not take the trade. It will not give you good results over a long period of time. So the things that we're looking for, first of all, is for price to either be above our moving average. If price is above our moving average, we're only looking for buy opportunities. If price is below our moving average, we're only looking for sell opportunities. Now, the next thing is we want to see market structure above or below our VWAP. So what that means is we're not just looking for price to be below our white line or whatever color your line is. We don't want it to just cross through it and then come up and we sell, right? That's not what we want to do. We want price to have crossed through it, went down, then went up again, and then went down, then we went up again, and we sell the second time it goes down. We need to confirm that it's actually staying under the VWAP, because what could end up happening is if it crosses through the VWAP, it can go down, the VWAP or the moving average. It can go down, and then it can just go right back up. And that'll mess us up, that'll make us lose the trade. So we need to see that market structure above or below the VWAP. Now, once we see that, now we're looking to enter. We're looking for the opportunity to enter. And all that opportunity looks like is, for example, on this setup right here, we see price has already been below the moving average a lot. We see all this price has been below the VWAP or below the moving average, depending what you're using. So we see that we're already below it. And so since we're below it, we're only looking for sells. For the sell opportunity, we want to see price move down. And then when we see price go up, and we're looking to enter right when price is reversing to start going back down. Because in trading, price never just goes straight up and price never just goes straight down. It goes up, down a little bit, up, down a little bit, up, down a little bit. We're trying to catch it when it goes that down a little bit before it makes that up, right? And this is what this strategy is great for. So what we want to see is us to be below the VWAP, and we want to see at least 3 candlesticks pulling back in the opposite direction. So in this instance, if we're looking for sells, we want to see at least 3 green candlesticks before we look for our red candlestick to enter on. Now, vice versa when it comes to buys. If we're above the VWAP and price went up, down a little bit, we're looking for at least 3 candlesticks on that down a little bit part. So if price went up, this of price coming down, we want to see at least 3 red candlesticks before we want to see our entry candlestick. So once we then see that, that's number 2 on our checklist. Once we see that, now we're looking for a specific candlestick to show up that shows us that price is going to reverse. And that candlestick looks exactly like this one right here in the middle, this one right here. We want to see a doji candlestick. A doji candlestick is simply when we have a small body and equal wicks on the top or the bottom, preferably long wicks on the top or the bottom. We don't want to see like small wicks on the top or the bottom. We want to see it just like it is right here on this red candlestick, where we have a small body, a small skinny body with wicks on the top and wicks at the bottom. Now, I told you have to be equal wicks. They don't have to be exactly equal, but one can't be extremely small and the other one's super long. We want to see at least it's close to being equal wicks on the top and the bottom. In this instance, the bottom wick is a little bit longer than the top wick, but this is something that I would still take. So that is a candlestick that we would enter on. Once we've seen this candlestick, we can actually plan out our trade. And how we do that is if we click this little button on the left that is 2 lines on the bottom, this one right here, we'll click that. And then you see at the top, it says long position or short position. If we're looking for buys, we'd press the long position one. If we're looking for sells, we'd press the short position one. And let's say in this instance, we're looking for sells, let's press the short position. We'd put it on the bottom of our wick. If we're entering for sells, always put it on the bottom wick. You always click on the bottom wick. If we're looking for buys, you always click on the top wick. So in this instance for sells, we're looking on the bottom wick. So we'll click it, and you'll see this box will get drawn up. On the bottom, you see it's red. This is our take profit level. On the top, or sorry, on the bottom, you see it's green. This is our take profit level. On the top, you see it's red. This is our stop loss level. We put our stop loss right above the candlestick that we entered in. So that's right up here, as you see. Let's delete this, get this out the way. But as you see, this is the candlestick we entered on. So we put our stop loss right above that. Now, where we put our take profit level, if you look in the middle of this, where it says risk/reward ratio, it says 0.086. We want to drag our TP level, the green box, until it says at least a 1 right there, a 1.0. It could be anything, but make it at least a 1. For this strategy, we're going for at least a 1. I keep trying to make it a 1, but it keeps going to 0.99. We use this for an example. And then once we have this is just a drawing. Keep in mind, remember how we talked about entering the trades using the sell, the buy button and all that? This is just drawing up the trade to practice, not practice, but to plan out our trade specifically. So once we have this drawn out, we'll then hit the risk button right here on the bottom left corner, or sorry, on the bottom corner. Then we'll also press the TP button on the bottom right corner. And we drag those lines exactly where we want them to be. So we'd line it up with the red one being at the top of our red box and the green one being at the bottom of our green box. Now, once we have those lines matched up perfectly with the box that we drew on our chart, we can press the bottom left corner that says risk and it says 0.058. We can change that to however much we want to risk. So let's say we want to risk $100. We'd press that, you'd see we're risking $100 and we'd make at least $100 on this. Right now we're on buy, so let's go to sell. Right now you see it says negative 100 at the top for our stop loss, and on the bottom it says negative 165, but that's not accurate. It's because this is back inside the market. So if we were to buy right now, no matter where price is at, so right now price is all the way wherever it's at, right? So it's throwing off the actual numbers, but if this was live inside of the market, this is exactly what would show. It would show you that you're risking $100 and you're going to make at least $100 on this trade. So then once you have that set up, you have your stop loss, you have your take profit set up. On the bottom right corner where it says sell, you press that. Right now it's grayed out because the market is closed, so I can't actually enter this trade, but live inside the market when the market's open, you'd be able to just press that sell button and it would get you right in on the trade. Now keep in mind with this strategy, you have to wait till that 1 minute candlestick closes, which means at the end of it. So remember, this is our entry candlestick right here. This candlestick that has long wicks on the top of the bottom. So at the end of that 1 minute candlestick, remember we're only doing this on a 1 minute time frame. At the end of that 1 minute candlestick, that's when you enter in. You want to enter as soon as that candlestick closes, as long as the candlestick looks how we want it to look. Now we can either enter on those candlesticks, which is what we call dojis, when it has a small body and big wicks on the top and the bottom, or we can enter on a candlestick that is on the side of it. So right here, you see a candlestick right next to it that has no wick on the top right here, but wicks on the bottom. We can enter on those candlesticks as well. It's just you'll get a little bit better of an entry if you enter on the doji candlestick, but keep in mind entering on a doji candlestick is a little bit riskier. You can enter on that one and it'll work out perfectly fine. But if you want a little bit more of a safer entry, wait for a candlestick that has a flat top if you're looking for sells. If you're looking for buys, wait for a candlestick that has a flat bottom, similar to this one right here. But you can enter on that one. It's the same thing. You put your stop loss right above the body of that candlestick. If you're looking for buys, you put the stop loss right below the body of the candlestick that you entered on, and you'd go for that 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, where next to risk to reward it says 1 on it. Now there are a bunch of different examples of this. I highly suggest you guys go on your phone and start looking for these setups, start looking for these strategies so you familiarize yourself so you can just spot it right on your phone exactly when you're looking for the trade. There's another one right here where we see price pulled back at least the 3 candlesticks that we needed right over here, and then we got our doji candlestick right here or a flat bottom candlestick right here, and we could have entered the trade right there. Let's say we go on use our long position, we put it right at the top of the wick of that candlestick. We would put our stop loss right below the candlestick that we entered on, and we would have made sure that it said at least a 1 next to the risk to reward ratio. We could have entered this trade would have won, and you could literally just scroll and see a bunch of different opportunities that the markets would have given you to make money. But this is an example of something that we would not have taken. Everything looked like it was perfect, but we're missing one thing. We did not have at least 3 of the opposite candle pullbacks. We had our doji candlestick, we're above the moving average, we had market structure above the moving average, but on this pullback right here, we only had 2 candlesticks, so we would not take that trade. So like I said, make sure everything is checked off on the checklist before you hop into the trade. And the more you do it, the more you practice it, the more you back test it, the easier it will be for you to spot it. You'll be able to hop in and out these trades very fast, make your money, get out the markets. Both of the trades I just showed you guys, the full take profit hit within a couple of minutes. That means you could have made $100, $1,000, $10,000 within 3, 4, 5 minutes. It just comes down to mastering the strategy, sticking to the checklist, and being disciplined with your risk management, not going and trying to risk $100 million on each trade, but being consistent, taking those small wins and letting them pile up. Now, this strategy is extremely effective and can easily, if you follow the steps like I keep saying, can easily start making you money straight from your phone, from anywhere in the world. As long as you have Wi-Fi access, you can actually start trading. Now, you can actually trade this strategy live with me every single day, Monday through Friday, inside of my inner circle. My inner circle was literally created for anybody that was actually serious about trading, not just someone who wants to make a couple $100, but someone who wants to be able to make a couple thousand or even $10,000 to $20,000 to $50,000 a month with day trading. I give you everything you need, from daily live trading calls where you can trade live with me and trade every other strategy that I trade, where you have access to other profitable coaches as well. We have crypto coaches, we have futures coaches. We also have a dedicated trading psychologist to help you with your psychology, because psychology in trading is literally the biggest part. With this strategy, you'll start seeing success, but that could get to your head. And when it gets to your head, you would start over leveraging or start taking too many trades or skipping steps inside of the strategy, and that'll cause you to lose over time. So we have a dedicated trading psychologist inside of the Inner Circle that will make sure that that does not happen to you. You also get to have one-on-one access with me to be able to ask me any questions at all. If you're struggling, if you have problems, if you want to be able to make more money, you want to learn how to leverage more to actually make more money safely, you can ask me that every single day, 24/7 access to me personally inside my Inner Circle. There's a bunch more things that are included inside my Inner Circle. If that sounds like you, if you want to take this serious, if you want to be able to drastically change your life, no matter if you are a new trader, an experienced trader, someone who's just stuck at break even, can't seem to get to that profitable stage, I highly suggest you click the link inside the description down below. Spots are literally always full. If you check my YouTube comments, it's literally full of people complaining about not being able to get inside the Inner Circle, but I will open up spots specifically for this video to be able to help any of you guys, no matter if you're trading from your phone, trading from your PC, trading from your iPad. I'll be able to help you get exactly where you want to get inside of your trading journey, so you can not just have financial freedom, but time freedom and location freedom as well. So if that sounds interesting to you, hit the link inside the description down below to have the opportunity to join my Inner Circle. Now, I mentioned before that this strategy is absolutely phenomenal, but it can be destroyed if you don't have the proper risk management. What I would suggest for you as a newer trader or someone who's just new to this strategy is start trading this strategy on a demo account. Don't go straight to a live account with this. You want to get used to trading it, and you don't want to give a lot of money back to the markets while you're trying to learn this strategy. What I don't want you to do is get started rushing, trying to make money. You load up a live account, you end up losing $5,000, $6,000, and now you're trying to catch up and make that money back. I'd rather you test it out, learn the strategy for yourself on a demo account, and then switch to a live account when you feel more confident. It's also extremely important that you back test this strategy. Backtesting it basically means going back in time and looking at the trade setups, looking at which ones worked out, look at which ones did not work out, see the difference between the two. That way, when you're trading it in the live markets, you know what to look out for, you know what to avoid, you just know how to ultimately use this strategy in the best way possible. So make sure you put in time to back test it so that you can be more familiar with the strategy, and so that it'll literally just be super clear to you every single time you see it in the live markets. Take that time to back test it. Now, a huge key point that I would give you is when you do switch off that demo account into a live account, don't start big. Start risking $50 or $100 per trade. Don't try and risk $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000. Start small. Start risking $100. Start risking $50 per trade until you start getting used to it. And don't go down a rabbit hole of taking a million trades at a time. I suggest taking a maximum of 3 trades a day with this strategy. When you start going over 3 trades, that means you're over trading, and that means you're not waiting for those A+ setups or those perfect setups. You cannot be taking 20, 30, 100 of these trades every single day. It's not going to work out. That means that you're taking very, very bad versions of this trade. You want to only take the best trades that have the highest chance of winning. So with that being said, I suggest you max out at 3. No matter if you lost 3 trades in a row, close out at 3. Do not try and go and make your money back and get into revenge trading. If you get into revenge trading, you're going to end up giving more money back to the markets and losing money. So do not get in that mindset. And the last tip I have for you guys is to make sure you're following the checklist. Make sure, if you have to, watch through this video again, watch through it 2 or 3 times so you understand all the criteria that you have to see for that strategy to work for you. You understand the platform, you know the broker you're supposed to use to connect to that platform, you understand candlesticks, you understand how to use that platform and how to understand exactly what's going on the chart. You need to make sure that you understand the checklist for the strategy. That's the most important part. So if you have to watch this video again, watch it again, study it, write down the checklist no matter what it is. And every single time you think you're about to take a trade or you're about to hop into a trade, go through that checklist, make sure everything aligns, take the trade, enjoy your profits. Now, since you made it to the end of the video, I can tell that you are very serious about taking trading seriously. So I would highly suggest that if you want to get personally mentored by me, you want to be able to get one-on-one help from me, trade live with me every single morning, you click the first link inside the description down below to have the opportunity to join my inner circle. It's not for everyone. Not everyone is accepted. I think it's like a 95% like disapproval rate right now because we can't help every single person one-on-one. So we have to make the requirements very, very strict. But you do have an opportunity. There are spots open. I would suggest you hit the link inside the description down below to see if you would be a good fit for the inner circle. We can help you expedite your process into becoming not just a consistently profitable trader, but an insanely consistent profitable trader. But I mentioned before that candlesticks can drastically help you in your trading, and being able to understand what each candlestick means is extremely important if you want to be a consistently profitable trader. That's why I made this video right here. I break down everything you need to know about candlesticks, show you multiple different type of candlestick patterns, exactly what they mean, so that you can perfectly predict the markets. I'll see you in this video right here.